Hello guys, this is your boy Namar here, back at it with another video. Yeah, bring up what if film Naruto um was a master in kenjutsu, taijutsu, and part kitsune part two. Anyways, I think the last part we left off was Kurenai and Saratobi doing these paperwork for Kurenai to adopt Naruto. Now, Naruto would be adopted by Kurenai and would basically go on to be she basically go on and shows her genjutsu, but not only that, uh, they also found the root shinobi, which they took into custody. Now, now Naruto has been she has also been lately disappearing into the forest of death, and she has been showing Kurenai of her little hideout. Now, in this hideout, she shows her the different things she has been doing, which she has also picked up on blacksmith. So where there used to be for the tour, like where Orochimaru tortured the poor saps that he had kidnapped, Naruto had cleaned out the entire room and made it strictly for her to do blacksmith and experiment like on different ways to improve her weapons, which she's starting to get down. Now, Naruto has also been making her own bows and arrows, like not her own bows, but her own arrows, and also she has started making her own poison called the Lorix. Now, this poison, well, it has there's three different versions of the Lorix. She, she goes to Lorix, like Lorix, like I'm gonna say she's gonna call it the Python Lorix, the Sloth Lorix, and the Born Lorix. Now the Born Lorix is basically like it basically burns your nerves, skin, and all of that. And the Python Lorix is basically a regular poison that can kill, which is what she got from the snake she killed in the Forest of Death. I think I said in the last chapter. If I didn't, well, I'm saying it now. And she also had the I think I said Sloth Lorix um, for the sleeping. Now, Kurenai knows all about this from Naruto showing her and basically showing her the process and the cures that she has. So yeah. So so Naruto has started to work on her. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. But she has basically been working on like her physical training while her clones do the ninjutsu and genjutsu. She'll also do taijutsu with Kurenai. Now, in the council meeting, the Uchiha Massacre happened, but instead of it just being Sasuke, Makoto is also alive, which is right now keeping Sasuke from being completely settled on revenge. And so, uh, Naruto, she would basically go on, the whole entire council would have a meeting, and then this is where like they talking and arguing about civil things, and this is where a fast civilian goes. Now, what should we do about that blonde bitch? And then Herzen goes, "Who are you talking about?" And he looks at the civilian with a narrow gaze. This is then where he goes, "Come on, Horizon. You know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the demon or Naruto Uzumaki in that fact." Now, after hearing this, Suma Inuzuka and what's her name? And Makoto. I'm gonna say how she wife lives and lived in like they cured her chakra poison, and they also killed the elders that had did it, which got rid of all the corrupt elders. And the branches are united, and the Kingsbury seal is removed. So I'm gonna say that all happened. So basically, instead of Nandy's dad died, there was a few Ambus that stayed around the Hyuga compound just in case something was to happen. To knowing that the Kuma dictator was there, they knocked out the dictator, and which is why they Kumo had to pay repercussions in Chusu's money and also now they also have an embargo from every country, knowing that like basically from the third Raikage, which is A's father, in which he is now also been killed. So now A is the Hokage, and he's trying to apologize to Konoha and the rest. Like basically just apologize to Konoha. So A, no, not A, but basically um, Hinata's mother would be at the council meeting, also leaking a little bit of blood loss, was assuming Makoto at that fast in the villain, which he's now fearing, kind of pissed himself. This is where the Okage then says, "I will not be doing anything to that girl," and and basically this is when the Unazuka matriarch would then stand up and say, the Inuzuka head would then stand up and say, Hokage-sama, please let me adopt Naruto. I can give her a happy family. Erzen looks at her and then looks away. This is where Makoto does the same with Hinata's mother. And basically Hiranagi just kind of lets out a light chuckle and it says, well, that wouldn't really be necessary anymore. This is where some of them go wide-eyed. Like, and then this is where someone goes, "You adopted her?" And then this is where Harrison said, "No, I did not adopt her, but a very powerful Jonin did." This is where some people like Kakashi, and then Harrison goes, "No, but the Ice Queen of Konoha, Kurenai Yuki, the genjutsu mistress." And some of the civilian council kind of go wide-eyed, and then they were like, and some of the elder council members are like, "Oh, Okage, something, we can't allow this to happen. That girl should be left alone and rot by herself." And Kahiro, I think that's how you say her name. Kahiro, she has a problem with Narco due to being the Jinchuriki. So yeah. So Kurenai's not there, but this is where assumed Hinata's mother and Makoto would then says you would not be doing anything to her or her Kurenai or Naruto. If you do, you're gonna have the whole entire Chia, Hyuga, and the Tsuka clan come after you, basically. And so, basically they kind of panic because not only is the not only is the Uchiha a very influsive or I can't speak, influential clan, it's also the Hyugas, and they don't want to really make an enemy out of those two clans. Now, um, Now, some people like Donzo's kind of mad because he can't get his weapon, and some civilians are like trying to figure out what's going on. This is when Kura says this is an Esrin secret. If anyone talks about this, you will be put to death. And basically, eventually, some rumors will start. Hiruzen's trying to figure out who said it, or spilled the beans. He thinks it's probably Donzo with his root Ambu, since he knows that Donzo still has root. Now, Hiruzen has kind of been stopping or ending some of these rumors, and not a lot of people have seen Narco around in the village lately. They're just thinking that it's probably because of something had to have happened, basically. So yeah, Hiruzen would then basically have Kurenai summon with Narco with her as well, and basically they would like basically Hiruzen would basically have them like talk about Narco's training. which Hiruzen is very curious about, and so he decides to let them go on their way. After Hiruzen finds out that Naruto is actually a very good prodigy, but not only that, uh, she is also what's it called? She's like basically that she is very strong on her own. Like even even like basically that she's a prodigy and she's already at a low tuning level in like strength and speed and is very good with it. Well, basically, she also got Yugao, which is one of Uncle Kurenai's friends, and also Uncle has also taken a liking and became Naruto's sister or older sister, basically. And so yeah, so basically, they are now kind of Kurenai is feared by all due to her basically all of her abilities. And well, bitches, no one has really tried to attack Kurenai because Kurenai's training has been stepped up, and she's borderline as rank. She's a high A rank ninja due to now having someone precious for her to protect, and she doesn't want anything to happen to Naruto. She always wants to be there just in case someone tries something, because she doesn't know. So now, Naruto and Naruto and Naruto has been trying to find like a way for her to like add truck basically to get used like adding chakra into like her gloves. I mean not gloves but into her kenjutsu style, which Minato has been training her how to do. So yeah. Um so Naruto she has started to make some more illusions and making them real, and she also helped Kurenai start like make. Basically, she's seen Rock Lee and Guy. Well, not really Rock Lee and Guy, but Guy, and so she made a genjutsu using Guy. Of course, Kurenai kind of started laughing because like this genjutsu would scare anyone. Basically, of like who knew Guy. Basically, she made it where it's like basically another version of Guy, but younger, and they hug with the sunset in the background. Now, Kurenai thinks that this could actually happen if they're not careful about who Guy gets as a student and if he actually trains them to actually be like him. And she's quite terrified about that. Then she tells her sister about it, basically. And so yeah. Uh, Kurenai and Naruto, of course, Kurenai being able to be borderline A to low S rank. A lot of people has been trying to get her to get rid of Naruto. And some men have been again trying to look to get with her, but of course, Kurenai being ice queen did not let them get close, knowing that most of them are just trying to get into her pants. And so she decided that she's going to leave. She decided she's going to leave, like basically the village. Not like leave, but like she's trying to find someone like elsewhere. So she also have made it upon herself to take. She took Naruto to meet Uncle and Yuga and all them. This is where Kurenai then decides to ask Naruto if she would like to go into the academy. Naruto then says yes, but before she does that, she kind of wants to do a mission for Hiruzen. And since she also showed Kurenai her trait of being able to go invisible, Kurenai is kind of curious on what this mission may entail. So she takes Naruto, like she was sending Naruto to the to the office. This is where she would then meet Hiruzen again. This is where Hiruzen goes, Anko, I mean not Anko, but Kurenai and Naruto, what may I do for you? The Naruto then basically goes up to him and says, well, it's quite simple, Saratobi-sama. I would like to go on a infiltration mission into the land of, to the Cloud Village. This is where Horizon looks at her suspiciously and goes, why? This is where she goes, well, I mean, I know that the Cloud has strong kenjutsu styles, but not only that, they will probably have a lot of lightning jutsus I can learn since one of my affinities is lightning. Horizon thinks about this and then he goes, troublesome. And Naruto goes, yeah, I know. It's very much troublesome, huh? But for real, you need to let me take this mission. And so he does, and so Ruby, not Ruby, but Naruto, she would then go to the Cloud Village, where she would, where basically she would see like a lot of, like she was basically still not. She wouldn't copy this down due to not being in her village, but she would still like from the archives, of course, of like all the strong taijutsu styles, all the strong lightning styles, and so yeah, and she will also steal a couple swords. Now these swords, of course, are going to be swords to conduct metal. I mean, conduct chakra, like your elemental affinities, and she would give it to Yugao Hayate. I think that's how you say his name. And she will also find like a chakra saber, and she will have already been introduced into Kakashi. Kakashi will also help train her. That's where she will go to Kakashi and goes, here you go, big brother Kakashi. Now, now, those weapons are going to be fairly strong. And so Kakashi would take the weapon. He would smile at her with his ice smile, and um, Kakashi would be like, wait. And then Kakashi was then see like he would then ask, where did you get this sword? And this is where he said, well, she would say, well, I asked Kage-sama if I can go on a mission, and I went on an infiltration mission, and this is what I got. he would then say, "What do you mean you went on an infiltration mission?" And here's in Kakashi voice that he's quite pissed about this. Hiruzen then he then gets like a slight chuckle. He goes, uh, "So about that," and Kakashi gives him like a death glare. He goes, "So you telling me you sent her on a infiltration mission to what village?" Then he says, "Well, Kumo," and he then glares at Hiruzen even more. Hiruzen then goes, "Wait, before you get mad, before you get even mad at me, okay? One, she did have a point, and she did ask me nicely." This is where Narco would then say, "Oh, and I found a few things on Uzumaki's there." And then Hiruzen goes, "What do you mean?" "Well, you see, the Cloud Village, and also from a journal from one of the from the Raikage, the third Raikage, it said that the Cloud and the Stone Village had also taken like journals away from the or like jutsus and stuff from the Uzumaki. So I think that it was mine. So I snuck into the archives where all the Uzumaki stuff was, even though it was heavily guarded, which it was so easily for me to get into. I was able to get I was still able to get the juices. After hearing this, Kakashi would think like, the hell. And so Kakashi would then look at Hiruzen and goes, "Hiruzen, if you do some shit like that again, I will almost kill you." And, and Kakashi and Hiruzen knows his glare, and he then kind of starts to sweat because like even Uncle didn't know about this neither did Yugao, and she was working today, and he could feel the blood loss of Yugao, and so this is where Kakashi goes, "Kurenai, you must have known, huh?" And Kurenai then says, "Well, I mean, I was there. I would protest it, but I mean, I can't say no to my daughter when she has dead eyes." And Kakashi goes, "Ah, yeah," he goes, "Ah, why?" And then he basically then this is where Narco then says, "Oh, and I might have snuck into Iowa." And she gives on like a light chuckle, and hers goes, "Your mission was not to go into Iowa. Why did you go there?" And this is when Kakashi sent him another glare, and he knows that he's kind of fucking up right now, knowing that Kakashi has a slight temper right now due to him actually letting his Solon's called little sister go into a different village without having really any real experience against other ninjas. Now, so 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 not only decides to be quiet, and then she says, "I also found weapons about the Uzumaki clan, and I'm gonna use these weapons if I feel like it, but it's not always gonna be often." So after he was in hearing this out, he then says, "Well, I mean, at least it was a mission success." That's what he says with a sigh. And Kakashi goes to mission success. Lord Hokage, can we talk? And Hiruzen hears this. He's like, "Oh shit." He's like, "What did I just awaken?" Because Kakashi normally isn't like this, but now since it comes to Naruto, he's almost like a demon. Basically, he's very dangerous, and he trains extra hard to make sure nothing happens to nothing wrong. What happens to Naruto, and so yeah. So, the Hokage looks at Naruto with like pleading eyes, and then Naruto then says, "Kakashi, calm down," and she basically gives him a death glare. Now, after seeing this glare, which is similar to Kurenai's, he calmed down, And this is where she then says, I will use these weapons if I want to, but not only that, you're not gonna control me. And she made that final to them, and Kakashi gives a sigh. She then says, I'm not trying to control you. I just don't want nothing bad to happen to you. This is what she says, well, I mean, if something bad was to happen, no one would have been able to find me regardless due to my trait. And she shows him his her trait. This is where Kakashi goes, oh, I didn't even know you can do this. This is where she goes, well, you never really asked. If you would have asked, then maybe you would have known. And this is where Kakashi goes, smart ass. And she goes, no, it's just you didn't ask and being a dumbass. And he kind of has like a downtrodden expression due to being called a dumbass by his own little sister. And no, yeah, Ankle's there. I did say Ankle's there. She laughed, you gotta laugh. Kurenai laughs at this. This is when they're holding the Russian ends, and after she gets on reporting what all she found more foot and juicy scrolls on the Uzumaki clan, which now she has a whole set to get her from level 1 of Uzumaki standards to level 20. Yes, there's going to be 25 levels. The other 5 levels are going to actually be in Curie, which she didn't tell the Hokage that she stole, but yeah, she already stole it. But yeah, she has now a full set to be a master in genjutsu. And so, yeah, she spends most of her time now just trying to, get her knowledge of the Uzumaki up. So when Kakashi then asked Naruto how long did it take her to sneak in, she didn't explain. So it didn't really take me that long, actually. The village is not as guarded as I thought it would have been. Then that's when Kakashi goes, what do you mean? That's when she goes, well, I mean, you would expect that village to be heavily guarded, right? No, it's actually not. It's fairly easy to get in. I got in my first day of being there, which says something. Hiruzen then says, what do you mean your first day? And she says, well, I was gone for longer than a day, right? And Hiruzen goes, yeah. And then she says, well, yeah, it's nothing all the way in. I got what I needed and got out. Oh, and I found the Uzumaki temple. And Hiruzen kind of goes wide-eyed, and then she says, yeah, I already have all of that at a certain hideout. And she has 2 other hideouts that Kurenai doesn't know about. Kurenai goes, where's this hideout? and and she kind of gives like the mother tone, and she goes, nowhere but where I need it to be. And Kurenai, she kind of just looks at her daughter and be like, tell me or you're going to be grounded. This is where Naruto, she kind of looks at her mother like, please no. And and so Kira and I would say that. But guys, I'm gonna leave that off here. And once we start the next episode, guys, we're gonna start her in the academy. Well, I'm gonna actually skip the academy, but just know she's gonna be hiding her true abilities. So yeah, peace.